Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome to our State of Bucks County update. My name is Pam Croak. I'm the CEO of the Bucks County Association of Realtors, and today we join our partner, the Suburban Realtors Alliance, to bring you an update specific to Bucks County. You're going to hear from the 3 Bucks County Commissioners and the Bucks County Recorder of Deeds office. But first, a couple of housekeeping details. This program is being recorded, so we're going to publish it after the fact. So anyone who has missed it can wait and see what went on. Also, if you want to ask questions of any of our panelists, please do so in the Q&A section on the Zoom page, and we're going to do our best to get those questions answered. Several questions were submitted prior to the program, and those questions dealt with unemployment, federal financial assistance, and other issues that are not going to be addressed today. But if you go to the BCAR homepage, bucksrealtor.com, and click on the COVID-19 update icon, you can find answers to all of those questions. Right now, I'm going to turn the Zoom mic over to SRA President and CEO, Jamie Ridge, who's going to get the program rolling. Thanks, Jamie.
All right. Good morning, everybody. I have the great pleasure this morning of introducing our Bucks County Commissioners, who will all give us a briefing. We'll follow that up with some Q&A, and then we will shift to the Recorder of Deeds office. So let me thank you first, Diane Ellis-Marseglia, Chair of the Bucks County Commissioners, for being here with us. Diane.
Thank you for having all of us. Thank you for having me too.
Also Bob Harvie, who is Vice Chair of the Commissioners. I think we might have lost Bob.
Sorry, I forgot I was on mute.
There we go. And also Gene DiGirolamo, our Bucks County Commissioner.
Hey, good morning, everyone. How you doing, Jamie? Good to be with you.
Good. Thanks so much. We really appreciate you being with us. We know you've got very busy schedules, but we're looking forward to this hour. So we'll kick it off with Diane. Will you start us off?
Sure, I'd be happy to. Thank you very much for having us. I have to say, the sun is starting in your window and it's starting in my window right now, so it's going to be better than yesterday, right? This has been a difficult time, I know, for everybody, and no less the realtors, but it does help when it's not raining so much. So good morning. I am happy to say that I am now Chair of the Bucks County Commissioners, and Bob Harvie has joined me. He is new to the Board of Commissioners, as is Gene DiGirolamo. They are not new to government, however, so we are working well together, and we have jumped in right away. I will say we were not expecting to have a virus like this in the beginning of our term. As a matter of fact, where we were when the virus started was getting ready to have our transition team. We have a number of people involved in our transition team, which has subcommittees. And the subcommittees have been coming back with reports and giving us, a beginning advice on what we ought to do to make things better in Bucks County. And as we were just starting to hear those first few things, in came the virus. So we're a few weeks away from me maybe being able to talk a little bit more about our transition team, and maybe we can share some of those things today. But one of the things that I'd like to share that's separate from that is that we believe we have a new Human Services Director, John Rubin, who I'm not sure any of you knew, but he was an absolute best thing that ever happened to Bucks County, has gone on to work for the state of Pennsylvania. But the state of Pennsylvania's gain was our loss, and we have been without a Human Services Director since October. So that has been a real challenge, but we believe that we have found someone who will probably come here at the end of May. And as a social worker, I am relieved to have this person here, and I think that it will help us move forward with everything that we do as commissioners, but especially our social services. One of the things that I'll say right away that we're hoping that this person can help us going on is housing. We want to make sure that there is quality housing, but also affordable housing throughout Bucks County. One of the new terms that we are getting used to using is inclusionary zoning. I'm not sure how well this will go off, but the whole goal of inclusionary zoning is that if there's any new development that occurs, if there's a builder coming in and building, say, 50 homes, that there's an agreement within the township that at least, say, 2 or 3 of those homes would be made affordable or maybe made available to those with disabilities. So we're looking forward to having the communities and different townships embrace us in that. And so we'd love to have some of your feedback on that. We're also hoping to help a little bit with the rental assistance that happens, the problems that happen. We have a number of people in Bucks County who are homeless, not because they can't afford the rent by the month, but they can't afford that initial rent or the security deposit. So I'm sure many of you have people you work with that are renting out their homes or apartments, and we'd like to be able to work with that and help the county back those people so that the people who are renting out their homes or apartments are able to know that they're covered, that the county backs that person that they're taking in. A couple other things that we're working on separate from real estate issues is mental health court and expanding our drug court. I'm sure you all know that everybody has a dog that's interfering, right? So here comes mine. The mental health court would help us to reduce our jail population. We do have a number of people in our jail who really don't belong there, that really belong either in a hospital setting or belong in some kind of an outpatient treatment. So we're trying to work on that, work with the judges when someone has been arrested who has a mental health problem to get them out of the jail quickly and into the kind of help they need. And expanding our drug court. Our drug court is an alternative so that if you were initially arrested on a drug or alcohol violation, you would be able to go in front of a judge for a drug court. You'd get treatment, you'd continue to have your job, you'd work with volunteering in the community. So instead of the costliness of jail and just kind of taking a time out and not getting help, you would stay in the community and get help. And so that's a major way to reduce some of the population in our jail that contributes to property taxes, but it's also the right thing to do. And I'm sure Gene will talk a little bit more about the efforts we're making on mental health and addiction and whatnot. Specific to the current virus, just a couple things I wanted to touch on. Feeding people has become a serious problem. There are so many people who are unemployed right now. So the Bucks County Opportunity Council is who we are relying on to make sure that all of our food pantries are staffed. And every Friday they run the Fresh Connect program for us. I know the very first week of this virus, I believe they fed 125 families. Last Friday, it was 880 families. And I know our school districts are feeding tens of thousands of children every day. So that's become one of the major things that we have to worry about as commissioners, and we continue to worry about that. I am assuming that we might get a question about when are we going back? And so we'll each kind of maybe be able to give you our opinion on that, but going back to work, getting the county open again. On a small level, the county will be starting back on May 8th to get our employees readjusted to working and feeling safe and comfortable and catching up on work. I think if I said March, I meant May. May 8th, on May 11th and on May 18th, we will again open the county doors to appointments only. So that'll be kind of getting everybody fully back to work. We will use a lot of virtual work to try to keep the amount of contact that people have with one another down. And we are putting efforts into place right now to make sure people have masks and can stay 6 feet apart and whatnot. The governor has divided things into a red, yellow, and green phase, and has given us a metric that we need to reach in order to move from the current red phase into the yellow phase. Commissioner Harvie's better at the math on this than me, but it's 50 cases for every 100,000 people in Bucks County. So I think that works out to about 22 people per day, new diagnoses. We have a way to go on that. And if you include our nursing homes in that, in cases there, we have a big, long way to go. So we are asking the governor to maybe take another look at that metric to see if we can kind of do public cases versus nursing home cases and find a way to see if we can get people back safely, but a little bit sooner. I'm going to stop there, take a breath, and either, Jamie, do you want me to give it back to you and you can introduce Bob?
Sure. Thank you so much. Bob, you are up, and thanks again for being here with us.
Sure, thank you. Yeah, Diane obviously went over a lot of what we're doing, but I can touch on a few things just because, as she said, I'm new as a county commissioner as of January 6th, but I have been in government for quite a while. I was chairman of the Falls Township Board of Supervisors for 12 years. I served for 16 years on that board from 04 up until just January 1st, I guess, of this year. And I was chair, as I said, for 12 of those years. Professionally, I was a high school teacher, social studies teacher in Lower Bucks County while I was For 26 years, I was a teacher. For 19 years at the technical school in Lower Bucks County. What we've been doing, a few things, and Diane referenced this, in terms of opening up the county for business, that is something that is being decided at the state level. The governor has talked about, and Health Secretary Levine has talked about the metric. As Diane said, it averages out to about 22 new cases per day over a 2-week period, which would, we are above that now. We're sort of well above that. We're averaging roughly 100 new cases a day. They have also said that there are other metrics they need to look at in terms of hospital bed availability, hospital staff availability, ventilators, things of that nature. I can tell you that in all of those areas, we are in a good position here in Bucks County. We do have 6 hospitals. We have a good bed availability, good ICU bed availability, and a lot of open ventilators in terms of which obviously we hope we never have to use, but we are good in all those respects. So we're hoping that there is some movement with the economy. We don't know when. We don't have any kind of inside information that we're not sharing with you. We really don't know. Just to give you an idea, when the governor made the decision to close down Bucks County and Delaware County and Chester County back in March, we got just literally a matter of a few hours notice that was going to happen. And so, we're not sitting on information that we're keeping from you. We're telling you what we know right now. What we can also tell you is that we obviously are very, very knowledgeable about the fact that the economy is going through a very difficult period, and there are a lot of people who are suffering. As Diane said, the food pantries are really doing yeoman's work over the past few weeks, and they're always looking for more donations. So if you're able to make some kind of donation of food or money or even time, I know that they're always looking for that. We are focused on how to recover. We started working really pretty early on in this whole process with the different economic development agencies here in Bucks, the IDA, the CEDC, Visit Bucks County, the Redevelopment Authority, the Workforce Development Board. Started working with them pretty early on to see what they were hearing and find out what thoughts they had. We continued to work with them. There was a program that came through the state for small businesses that went through the Community and Economic Development Corporation. That money ran out very quickly. It was open to the whole state. The Redevelopment Authority did a loan program to hospitality-based businesses starting in late March, I believe it was, and that went on for a couple of weeks until they ran out of the money that they had allotted. They're now in the process of awarding grants to nonprofits in Bucks County. And so the total amount of money that they will eventually give out is around $750,000 to small businesses and to nonprofits here in Bucks County. So we're grateful to what they're doing. We are working as well on how to recover from this. So in addition to sort of compiling the information that the transition committees have put together for the county to focus on, a lot of which dealt with economic development and how to make Bucks County better in terms of attracting businesses, helping to our entrepreneurs who are starting out businesses. How do we connect people to the resources at the state and federal level to help them be successful at whatever they're trying to do? We are also focused on how to help businesses recover from this once we start coming out of it, when that happens. So there is a task force that's going to be launched next week that is going to start looking at recommendations that can be made to the county and guidelines that could be presented to business people in Bucks County to offer some assistance and some guidance moving forward. So that's something I'll be working on and have been working on, and we're hopeful that we can come out of this successfully, and we're hoping that we're positioning the county in a way that it can be helpful to people looking for work and people looking for workers and people looking for ways to help themselves be successful. So with that, I'll take a breath, as Commissioner Marseglia said, and give it back to Jamie.
Terrific. Thanks so much, Bob. And Gene, you are up for your segment.
Yeah, thanks, Jamie. And again, good morning, everyone. Good to be with you. And, I just want to start out addressing, I think the most important issue to why everybody's here, and that's your issue. Why aren't you allowed to do what you do in your business? And first, I want to thank everybody for your good work, your industry. The work you do here in Bucks County is extremely important to what we have here in Bucks County, our quality of life, and what we enjoy here in Bucks County. So I want to thank you for all of you for what you do. The big question, I guess, is, why aren't you allowed to continue to do what you do? And I just want to say, I don't know. If it was up to me, I would absolutely allow you to open up and do what you do in the realtor business. I see no reason why you can't do it safely. When you think about showing a house, I don't think there's any reason why you couldn't wear a mask with a couple of people who are looking to buy a home and take them through number of deaths out of the equation, I mean, I think Bucks County is in pretty good shape as far as the rest of the Southeast goes in being ready to start opening up. And Commissioner Marseglia said that we're going to bring the employees back for a soft opening on May 11th, and then give them a week to get ready, and then bring all the employees that can come back, and again, safely. Everybody wearing masks. They're going to come back on May 18th. The offices will still remain closed, but they're going to start working from the offices if they can do it safely. So with that, we still have to take this seriously. I mean, we're going to get through this. And again, we're going to get through this by all working together. And I think the residents of Bucks County have done a really, really good job as far as staying at home when they don't have to go out, wearing masks whenever they go out, and practicing social distancing, because I think that's still critically important for people to do. So with that, I'll turn it back over to Jamie.
Great. Thanks so much, Gene. And I think we do have a few questions that were submitted through email, Pete, and I believe that you have those.
Yes, I do. So the commissioners touched a bit on the numbers so far and some of the metrics being used to decide when to reopen. But there was a question as to whether the count of new cases of the virus is stabilizing in Bucks County.
So I could try that first. The count hasn't necessarily stabilized because there are so many new ones within the nursing homes. I'm thinking yesterday, I believe we had, I think, 160 cases. And I'm thinking about, I think 110, 120 of them were in nursing homes. So you know, the public, we're kind of stable, but with the nursing homes, we are not. Gene or Bob, any change to that?
I mean, go ahead, Bob.
That's all right, Jim. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, and again, as Diane said, and I said, I think we had 19 deaths yesterday in Bucks County, which is just absolutely heartbreaking and just tragic. I mean, and every one of them. And, you know, every one of those deaths yesterday were people who were in a nursing home, who either died in the nursing home or were transported to a hospital and died in the hospital. And again, they were all in their 70s, most of them in their 70s, 80s, and 90s. You know, again, if you look at the numbers of positive cases and the number of deaths, and if we could separate them from nursing homes and in the community, I mean, I think it would again show that we are doing a very credible and reasonable job of getting this under control in the community here in Bucks County. But it's the nursing homes that are giving us our problem. Bob?
No, I'm comfortable, you know, with Diane and Gene. You know, answered the question, I think, pretty well.
Well, on that point, we actually had another question, a couple of questions about, is there any increase in funding going to the nursing homes, you know, from the money that the governor has been doling out to hospitals and places like that?
I think I want to let Bob go first if he wants to, but they have increased the Medicare amount that they are paying per patient because of COVID. Bob, anything you want to add to that?
I think the governor announced yesterday a loan program or a grant program to hospitals throughout Pennsylvania. I know Lower Bucks Hospital was going to be receiving that. I think they're the only, that's the number 6 hospitals in Bucks. I think they were the only ones who was receiving a loan through that specific program.
Yeah, this is Gene. I mean, as far as helping the nursing homes outside of the funding, I think where they're having their biggest problem, that all of them has shut down as far as allowing visitors into the nursing home. And they have done that quite a while ago. And I think, and if you ask the question, how did it get started in the nursing home? I mean, you know, certainly we're never going to figure that out, absolutely. But I think it started out by visitors in the nursing home, family members coming in there who were showing no symptoms at all. And that's one of the biggest problems of this virus. They're showing no symptoms and then passing it off to the residents of the nursing home. And also with the staff coming in who are showing no symptoms and also passing it off to the residents. One of the biggest problems the nursing homes are having right now, where they really need help and where the county has really jumped in and helped them out, is with staffing, because they're getting a lot of their staff who are sick or test positive. And again, if someone gets sick and they're a staff person going into a nursing home, I mean, they've got to self-quarantine until they are sure that they don't have the coronavirus. And the county and Scott Forrester has been key in doing this. He's the head of our emergency management services. They've been in constant contact, and the Department of Health, with the nursing home, making sure they have safe staffing levels. Now, I know we have sent personnel from the county into the nursing homes to help them when they're short-staffed. But what also we have done, we have identified a number of private staffing agencies that have medical personnel. So when a nursing home is short on staff or need help, that they can contact these staffing agencies and they will send people in, whether they're nurses or other medical people that'll help the nursing homes with their staffing. So that's been a big problem, and I think we got a pretty good handle on the staffing situation in the nursing homes right now.
Okay, there are some questions that are coming in that are more about state level issues and you know what's being done to get realtors back to work. But I think one more that I wanted to pose now that came in about the county is, does the county have a list of restaurants that are open for pickup or delivery so that we can help that segment of our communities?
I'm going to jump in on that because I saw that question come up while everybody was talking, and I knew it was on the Visit Bucks County website, but there's also places to get a beverage that you can order out from, as well as places to get a sweet treat. It's all on the Visit Bucks County website. I can send it to somebody if you want. I have it even on my phone. I could send it as from my cell phone. If somebody gives me their cell phone, I'll forward it over. But yes, we would love it if you would go on there. We really do need to patronize those businesses. They are, the ones that are going to be suffering the most, because they'll probably be the last one, those in the gyms that are going to get open. So we need to do everything we can for them.
Right.
And I can jump in. I'm sorry, Jamie.
No, you go ahead.
I can jump in. I know the Upper Bucks Chamber of Commerce has also compiled a list of businesses that are open, not even just restaurants, but I think other businesses that do curbside pickup for whatever items, things like that. I think the Lower Bucks Chamber of Commerce was doing a survey. I believe they were doing a survey to try and do something like that. But those are other resources you can take a look at.
Great.
And this is Gene. I mean, I just a great idea to support that industry and that business by, ordering out. I mean, I know me and my family, we try to do that at least 2 or 3 times a week to support the end, because it's the restaurant industry, along with many others, that are really, really suffering, and the employees as well. And I think if you look, what are some of the industries that might not be open right away? I mean, I think you're looking probably at the restaurant industries and restaurant that are, if they open, there's going to be a lot of restrictions. So they can use all the help that they can get, and would encourage everyone to support them.
So I do think we have a few straggling questions that we will address toward the end, but I want to turn this over to Pam Croak, our CEO of Bucks County Association, and she's going to introduce our recorder, who is also with us this morning.
Great, thanks, Jamie. We do have with us today Bucks County Recorder of Deeds, Robin Robinson, and joining her today is the Senior Manager of the Bucks County Recorder of Deeds, Suzanne McCracken. And I want to thank both of you for taking the time to be with us today. And Robin, I'd like to give you an opportunity to give us an update of, what's on your desk and what's been taking up your time lately.
Well, we have not missed a beat. We have been recording every day. Even when the county closed, we were ready and we were recording remotely. Notaries is the big thing that's on my desk. I have been helping them and taking care of them and making sure that anybody needs to be sworn in for their notary gets sworn in. So like I said, we haven't missed a beat. We're totally caught up on everything. We are here to help our realtors, to help our title agents, to help our constituents of Bucks County. You just have to call our office. We field between 30 and 40 calls a day, and we are there to make sure that we meet your needs to help you go on with business. And I did want to say that both March and April were huge months for us. We recorded more in March than we did in 2017, 2018, or 2019. And we just finished April in the same condition where we beat 2017, 18, and 19. So nothing has slowed down in our office at all. We can't wait for our realtors to get back to work and get selling those houses. We are ready to help you.
That's awesome. And I know, Robin, we've spoken before about a special program that you have in your office that is a great benefit to not just the realtor community, but the consumers. And I want to give you a chance to talk about that.
Thank you. So we have our Bucks County Fraud Alert, and it's very important because, like I said, we are still recording every day. So if a person is signed up for our fraud alert system, if anything gets recorded in their name in our office, they get an alert either on their cell phone or on their email, however they sign up. And this is a free service that we started a year and a half ago. And we have almost 2,000 Bucks County residents signed up. You do not have to own property to sign up. It protects against identity theft. And there's a lot of that out there. I just helped a couple recently whose grandmother's house got put in somebody else's name. And if they had been signed up, they would have been notified immediately that that happened. So that's what we're here for. And I have plenty of these. If any of the realtors need them for their customers, you can call us at 215-348-6209 and give us your email. We'll email it to you, or anything you need. We are here.
That's awesome. And can you give us some insight into what your office is doing to prepare for when real estate transactions resume in full force?
Well, like I told you, we're up for it right now. I did want to mention one other thing is, you know, our title companies are very important to us because they're searching the title to help close the deal. So what I did there, by coincidence, I had opened up the records of the deeds to 1684. So people could be searching those at home. And when the pandemic started coming to light, I had been working on the mortgages, but I didn't want to open those up because I'd been working with our IT department since October to try to keep foreign countries out of our system. I know this is crazy, but this is how things work. So when this happened, I turned that mortgage switch on so that these title searchers can work at home. So they're working at home, and that's why I don't think we've missed a beat. If the realtors can sell the houses and get them closed, you know, we're going to record them, and we'll do anything that you need, plans, copies, anything. We will make sure you can get them.
That's greatly appreciated, Robin. That's terrific. We have a couple of questions. And where can residents find information on signing up for that fraud alert? Is it on the website?
It is on the website, www.buckscounty.org. Under government offices, recorder of deeds, there's a link there, or you can call our office and we can help you. But it's super easy to sign up for because I told Landex I have to be able to do it without my daughter helping me. And I did this all on my own, so anyone can do it. And it's a great little tool that we have.
Sure. And can you repeat your office number again, please?
Sure. 215-348-6209.
Awesome.
And I have plenty of these. If any of the real estate agents need them, I can mail them to you to give to your customers. And this is our fraud alert little handout.
Wonderful. Thank you so very much. I don't see any other questions. Pete, I don't think I missed anything, did I?
No, I don't think so. The link to the fraud alert website is also in the chat if people want to look for it there.
Can I
So
say
no,
one
I think
more
you got
thing?
it. Yes.
If anyone wants to search deeds online, go ahead, go to Landex, www.landex.com. Of course, I have another flyer, and you can search your deeds on there.
Great. That's terrific. Well, Jamie, do you have anything else that you want to present?
Yes, I do. Thanks, Pam. First, I want to say thank you all to the participants. We're just so grateful for your reports and everything that you're doing. We do have one question, and this is specific to one of the townships, especially Falls Township. And Bob, I know you have great experience in Falls Township as a longtime elected official there. So I'm going to take that question offline, and I will email with you after this call to discuss that, because it's fairly significant for us. So I will be with you on that one. I will say for everyone on the call that we are asking you to contact the Suburban Realtors Alliance if you are having an issue with receiving a use and occupancy permit. It would be probably a temporary UNO at this point. But if you're having an issue getting in touch with a borough or a township, please let us know about it, because that's why we're here. We really do focus on municipal issues for you, and we want to be helpful, and we want to be aware of those. I'll also ask you to read our news every Friday. Every Friday morning, we're sending out our emails to you. You can also find it on our news briefs on our website, talking about all of the real estate issues, all of the COVID-19 related issues that are impacting you and your clients right now. So please stay in touch on that. To go one step further, we did have a webinar last week on Friday that's still available for you to view. That was with our state association, our Director of Government Relations from the state, PAR, and also the National Association of Realtors. We had two folks from NAR with us, and there was some great information shared about unemployment, about small business loans, some very specific information, links that you can find there for you. So please check that out. Again, you can find that on our website, www.suburbanrealtorsalliance.com. One final question I would ask of the supervisors, as we're hearing a lot of the green, yellow, and red system that's being put in place by the governor. And there is a measure that's being used. I believe it's 50 new cases per 100,000 residents of the county. That is being used as the measuring tool to say whether or not a county is able to go through in the yellow zone or in the green zone. And if you have any insight on that, helping us understand that, we'd greatly appreciate it. Diane or Bob, or
I'll start, and maybe Bob can take the part about how we're working with other counties on this. I kind of addressed this a little bit when I was first talking. So, you know, I want to make sure that I'm clear on it. This is the governor's rule, and we have written a letter asking for some flexibility on that, because the rule includes those nursing home deaths. And so at that point, you know, we are at now at 140 cases a day, and we would need to get that down to 22 if we follow the governor's rule to get into yellow. So as you can imagine, that's going to take a long time. So we would kind of like to take it more based on the illnesses that come out that are not in a nursing home, as well as adding other factors in, like how many beds are available in hospitals. And we are in good shape in all of that. So we're hoping that, you know, they may take another look at this. The Carnegie Mellon University is working with the Department of Health and the governor in coming up with this metric. So I have a feeling that as things go on, they will adjust. This has, you know, been very difficult for everybody. Nobody knew how the virus would affect us. So it is very fluid, so things will be changeable. Bob, did you?
No, I think you explained it well, and I think we kind of talked a little bit about it before. You know, the number that was passed just recently in terms of deaths throughout the country, we're over 60,000 deaths in the country just from COVID-19. And just as a perspective, that's just in a couple of months, 60,000 deaths. That's more than died in the Vietnam War. In that, that's a death toll that stretched from roughly 1959 to 1975. And so for some people, obviously, when it first started, there was a lot of, and I think there's still some people who talk a lot about, well, this is just like the flu, and no, this isn't just like the flu. In fact, that death toll that we've hit and will continue to be added onto, that's with social distancing and quarantining in place. That we've hit that number with all those measures in place. So imagine what it would be like if we hadn't had those measures in place. And so there is a lot of trepidation, and I think it's justified, as Commissioner DiGirolamo said, about being careful. And I've been using the sort of the analogy of a sporting event, that some people, I think, feel that we've gotten into the fourth quarter and the game's almost over and pretty soon everything will be fine. And I'm not even sure we're at halftime yet. And so it's not a comfortable thing to think about. I know all of us want to be moving on with things in our lives and want to be, certainly getting back to business. I have two children. One is a senior in high school, one's a senior in college. And so neither one of them are experiencing the kind of senior year that we were hoping they would have, or they were hoping they'd have. And I know a lot of other people, probably a lot of you, have that situation as well. And so certainly I would rather be planning graduation parties at this point, but that's not happening. And so there's a lot of pain going on throughout the country with this, but the overall effort has got to be to try and save as many lives as we can. And so while we hope there's a little bit of flexibility in terms of how the governor's opening up counties, we are cognizant of the fact that it's not going to be soon for southeastern Pennsylvania.
Great.
Yeah, just, Jamie, can I just chime in there?
Yes,
Okay?
absolutely. Gene.
Yeah, I mean, and again, thank you for all the work that you do here in Bucks County to the Bucks County Realtors Association. I mean, and again, we really, really appreciate it because you're a big part of what makes Bucks County special. And maybe just a little ray of hope. And again, we do have to take this slowly and seriously and open up, when we're ready, on the safety and the health and the welfare of our citizens here in Bucks County are our primary concern. But again, there's little rays of hope. I mean, I think the governor has allowed the construction industry to start opening back up, public and private. And I know for your association, I mean, that's a little bit of hope because home building is important to what you do. So that started to open back up. And if I look at what happened in Harrisburg and when the governor opened that up, I think it was right after the House had passed a bill that said we want to open the construction industry up. And I think even though the governor, I'm not sure, I think it was part of a bill that he might have vetoed, but right after he vetoed that, I mean, he opened up and said he was going to open up the construction industry because he thought it was the right thing to do. So I think Representative Pollinchuk's bill, that it got out of the House, I think that's a really good thing that will give you a little ray of hope. And again, as I understand his bill, I mean, he's got some restrictions in there, and safety is a big part of what's in his bill to be able to open up safely. But maybe, since the bill passed out of the House and the governor's taken a look at that, and he might say, you know what, it's not a bad idea to open the realtor business back up again. So I think there's a little bit of hope there for your industry. And I think it's the right thing to do.
Gene, thank you for that. I will say one more thing about HB 2412, which is Representative Pollinchuk's legislation, and that legislation would deem real estate essential, number one, but it would also outline very strict CDC guidelines that would be used by realtors when they're doing their business. And the passage in the House was 125-77. It is actually going over to the Senate now. Senator Boscola, a Democrat from Lehigh Valley, plans to introduce that in the Senate. This is a bipartisan effort. There were a very good number from both parties that did support Todd's legislation in the House, and we're hoping for that in the Senate as well. And as you mentioned, Gene, I do think this is opening the governor's eyes in terms of the necessity of it and showing that there is support, bipartisan support on both sides for this. So we are hopeful that if the legislation doesn't get through, well, then it absolutely will affect an executive order. That would be something along the lines of the construction industry order. So we're hopeful for that, and very thankful for Todd's work on HB 2412. So thanks for bringing that up, Gene.
You're welcome, Jamie.
I will say that I think that unless we have any other questions, I just want to say once again, thank you to our commissioners and our recorder of deeds, Diane, Bob, Gene, Robin. We're so grateful for all the hard work that you're doing, all the hard and good work that you're doing. And we're very thankful also that you've taken the time to be with us this morning. Again, please let us know if there's anything that we can be doing to support the county's efforts. And we will certainly let you know if there are things that we think that you can be helpful with on our side. So that's all I have, Pam. I'll turn it back to you.
Thanks. Well, thanks so much, Jamie. And I join you in thanking the commissioners and the recorder for their time today. It's so important for our members to hear from their Bucks County officials, and we're greatly appreciative of your efforts on our behalf. And I'm encouraging all of our Bucks County Association of Realtors members to visit our COVID resource page. It is jam-packed with information, and you're getting information from all sides, but we like to think that you would come to us for as your primary source of information, and we have it all there on that page. So please visit, and stay tuned for a few future episodes of updates. We're working on a couple of things, so we'll be in touch with you, and I hope everyone stays safe, and I'd love to be able to see everyone soon. We'll see, right? Thank you, and thanks, Jamie and SRA, for all of your help.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you very much.
Yep, have a good day. Thank you.